So this is the Powermatic 2 Plus. I just got off of Amazon for around $62. I was going to get the manual, like Topomatic style, but this was, I think, maybe $20 more. And I've seen a few reviews on it. It seemed to be pretty good. So I bought it and I've been using it for about a week now. It comes with the little tobacco tray. This basically just catches the little tobacco, the excess tobacco in here. You can see it kind of clips on right here. It's two little plastic things clips on. This is your hopper, which they do make a larger hopper for sale, and I've seen some other people who could probably make one easier. I don't really find it necessary because I can put enough in here for probably 2 or 3 cigarettes at a time. And that goes pretty fast. I went with the Zen tubes. These are 17 millimeter full flavor. It gives it a little bit of a Marlboro red kind of a taste. I really smoke Camel Lights or Blues, they're called now. So this is a little bit more potent than I wanted, but this was a really good deal. I got 1,250 cigarettes for 16 bucks, so it's like a penny a piece. And the first one came pretty good. The like top rack had gotten crushed a little bit, so you kind of run into this issue right here where they'll be a little crushed. I mean, it's paper, so shipping it, it's gonna kind of happen. But when you're paying a penny a piece, it's not that big a deal. And some of them, what I've found is if you just put it in your mouth and blow the top, it'll fix it. So I'll try to fix that one. So yeah, you just put it in your mouth, like blow like you're blowing a balloon, and it pops it back out to where it's usable. And then once it goes on, once it goes on the end here, it kind of fills out. As long as you can get that tip over there, once you get the tobacco in there, it'll puff it out and be all right. Which actually I got a little bit of tobacco in here. I was rolling some. I'll show you. It's got a little switch on the back, little standard power supply. So basically the lever's up now. That's when you load the tobacco, and then once you close it, shoot your arm in. Now I pack mine a little bit heavy sometimes, but because I don't like to have a gap there. That's kind of annoying. If you pack it too light, you'll have like a little empty spot here, and the paper will just burn real fast and then get to the before it gets to the tobacco. So I just take this little brush they have here, and I'll kind of tuck it in. That one had a little bit too much. I'm still getting the art down of packing it, how firm it is, how much tobacco you want in there, but I'll talk about that more in a second. But yeah, it does come with this little cleaning brush here. That's for if it gets clogged in this area, you can just clean it out with the tobacco. They say if you put too much of jams, I haven't had a jam yet. And then a little cleaning brush, I like to clean it after I'm done. And then this little pick, I'm not exactly sure what that's for, but I guess to get any small carving pieces out. Yeah, basically how it works is there's a little pin here that when you pull up, releases, and that holds your cigarette. And then when you come back down, it grips the cigarette and shoots the arm out. And it looks like it's kind of serrated. I think they call this a spoonbill tobacco loader. But it goes pretty quick. Has a little red light here for if you do jam it. But like I said, I haven't had that issue yet. Alright, let's go to the tobacco. So I got the Wild Horse tobacco. I think it was cigars and somewhere, I forgot, it's a Pennsylvania company, but there's a lot of different places you can go for tobacco, and you're going to have to buy pipe tobacco. That kind of threw me off at first, but then I kind of caught out and figured it on. I guess I can't sell cigarette tobacco because it'd probably be taxed a little differently. Apparently this isn't as regulated, or is regulated differently, but I'm sure these people know that you're rolling cigarettes with them, because I've smoked pipe tobacco before, and I wouldn't put this in a pipe. But it's pretty good. I got a pound, and this was, I think, $12 or $13. And some people say you can roll like 2.5 cartons. I haven't even finished this one yet. I probably rolled 150, I don't know, maybe 100, 120 cigarettes. When I first got it, it was a little dry, and I went ahead and rolled some, and I should have known better because I have cigars and I've messed with tobacco for a long time. I should have let it get the humidity level up. So they were burning kind of hot. If you get the pipe tobacco, when you start rolling, it starts burning kind of hot. You probably need to bring up the humidity in your tobacco. It's going to be kind of harsh and burn really fast, just like anything that's dry. So what I did to remedy this, and I already had one, I got one of these little cigar humidifiers, the gelatin style. You just pour water in there, and it soaks up the water and turns into like a little gel. And then it has vents in the top, and I just threw this in the tobacco, and it's a lot more moist, and you know the tobacco doesn't really get in here because of this. If you don't have that, you can use a paper towel. That works too. There's a few other, like a little sponge, but if you do that, the thing I like about this, it kind of self-regulates, keeps it around 70% humidity, I believe, which is like ideal for tobacco. If you use a sponge or something that you're not really sure how much water you put in there, your tobacco can get too soggy, and you'll have other problems, like it won't burn fast enough. But this keeps it nice and humid. I've actually thrown, when I used to hand roll, I used to throw apples in here, and it would kind of soak up the apple flavor. I may do that a little bit later to take out some of the pipe tobacco's harshness, because it is a little bit harsher tobacco than cigarette tobacco, because they have all these chemicals and stuff in there to change the flavor and taste, which I think this is pretty much just natural. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with this. Like I said, I used to hand roll cigarettes, a little machine roller. Never could get it right. I sucked at it. They were either like huge or too fat or too small. And it just took a lot of time. I'm lazy. I like this. It looks professional. It looks good. People want to smoke them. They're not scared of them. So you just take a little clump of tobacco. This one's kind of small. The hopper is up right now. And I like to kind of pack the sides first, because if you get too little in the front, it'll, like I said, it'll leave a gap and you just won't have tobacco in there. This is kind of the technique part, learning how much to pack in there. I've kind of gotten to, it's kind of a not too light, not too much, just kind of like a firm little pack. Grab your tube, slide it on, and away we go. See, that one's not too bad. Now, occasionally I'm trying different things. I'll feel to make sure the firmness kind of feels the same throughout the cigarette. And then also a good way to test if you think you're putting too much tobacco in there is just take a drag off of it. If you can't suck through the tobacco or suck through the cigarette like this, then that's exactly how it's going to be when you're smoking it. Or if you suck on it, just, it's like you're breathing too easy, then that's how it's going to burn too. It's going to burn super fast, hot. You kind of want a balance. And I've been meaning to grab like a commercial grade cigarette and actually weigh out the grams of tobacco in it to compare, and then try to put that exact same amount in this cigarette. But I have to figure out if this is the exact same size, because these are king sizes, and I think these filters might be a little shorter, so that may or may not work. I'm gonna have to do a little more research on that. But so far this is turning out pretty good. I can roll them pretty fast, and I just started, and I'm sure I could roll them a lot faster, but like I said, I'm taking my time and trying to learn what works best and what I like best. See, that one might be a little loose. It's got a little space in there. You're gonna have a few that you're gonna throw away, but when you're talking about going down from it's about $6 a pack here. If you're in New York or the crazy places, it's like 10 or 11 bucks a pack, to like $1 a pack. You can afford to throw away a cigarette or bum one out. That's one thing. I don't get mad about bumming cigarettes out to people now, because before I'm like, man, it's like a quarter a piece, man. You bummed like 5 cigarettes off of me. Why don't you buy me a pack? Now I'm like, sure, all right. It's like 5 cents, 10 cents. But this whole setup that I've got right here, I got enough to probably make about 5 cartons at a price of about $2 a pack. And mainly because of the machine's expense. The $60, that was the biggest expense. And this is going to pay for itself in 1 carton. So the next time it's going to be about $1. And I may experiment around with some different tobaccos. This one's pretty good. And I'm not exactly sure how big of a role the tube plays in the taste. I read it makes a huge difference. So I may try a different tube with the same tobacco. I may just order one 250 round box just to see, and then I may try some other tobaccos too, like something a little sweeter. Because as far as the taste goes, these are, I would say, a little bit harsher, but you get a little bit more flavor too, especially if you got it, humid. You got your tobacco treated right. You get a lot more of a tobacco taste, but with that, you get the tobacco's natural kind of harshness, at least with this, because like I said, the commercial cigarettes, they treat it with acid to break down the nicotine molecules and faster nicotine absorption in your body, and then it's reconstituted tobacco. So this is it's going to be a little bit different taste, but you get used to it. And when you're telling yourself, oh well, I'm saving $200-300 a month, I can get used to it. You can get used to it. And if you're probably looking to do this, you probably smoke a lot. I smoke about a pack a day, so this is probably going to be about $200 a month savings around there, something like that. But you see, I'm cranking them out pretty fast. I haven't had any jams. I'm only going to get better. It's like a little skill thing. You can enjoy it. It takes a few minutes just to do. You can roll out a lot. You can roll out a little. I've just been... I was going to roll out a lot, but then I kind of changed my mind because I don't want the tobacco to dry out on me. Just like cigarettes have an expiration date, these will dry out too if you just leave them in your car or somewhere, unless you leave them in a humidor, which that would be fine. But I'm rolling like a pack or two, just kind of do a little at a time for the day. But yeah, so far so good. And you can see I've got all these rolled. They don't look too bad. I had a pack of cigarettes around here. I think I can fit about 10 of these in a regular pack. I just recycled an old Camel pack. I might go to one of the fancier cigarette holders later. But I had like a little tea box. I throw some in, and then I just throw 10 or so in my cigarette pack carton, or cigarette pack, sorry. And get me by. But yeah, it works pretty good. People I've bummed them to, they don't even know that I hand roll them. I wait till they like take a few puffs, and I'm like, yeah, I hand rolled these. See what they say. They're like, oh yeah. I would kind of compare with this blend I got here to like a Marlboro Red, with a little bit less harshness. But there's a lot of different tobaccos and flavors you can go with. Finding the tobacco is kind of the hard part. Then the shipping was about $7 or $8, so I went ahead and got 2 pounds, kind of cut down on my shipping cost, my average cost. Because if you're going to buy a pound or 5 pounds and the shipping cost is $9, well, you might as well get a couple pounds. Go ahead and do it then, rather than paying $20 a time. Just pay, $39 a time and get like 2 or 3. But you know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's going pretty good. I'll do an update maybe after a couple of months of me getting used to it and playing around with some of the blends. But overall, I think it's a great way to save money, and it's working out pretty good.